Hello, women of the Channel Leadership Network. I'm Jackie Rives, your community leader, and welcome to another Woman of the Week. While I love all Women of the Week and celebrating everyone, I always am maybe a little, very excited when I get to interview a team member and get to know them better. So please join me in welcoming Jade Surrette, President of Agency Services with the Channel Company. Hi, Jade. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, Jackie, and I'm so excited to be here. I am thrilled to be a part of Women of the Week this week.
Yes, and I'm so excited to get to know you even more. So let's dive into those icebreaker questions. Where do you live and where did you grow up if that's different?
Yeah, so I actually live in New Hampshire, which is about an hour north of Boston. For those of you who may not be familiar with New Hampshire, way up in the Northeast. And I actually have been here my whole life. And part of that reason is I did leave the state to go to school, but I came back and I had older parents that I really wanted to stay close to, and I ended up being caregivers for, and that kind of thing. And so family is super important to me. So being close by was important. Yeah, I mean, I'm in such a great spot because I'm an hour from the mountains, an hour from the lake, an hour from Boston, an hour from the ocean. So kind of get to do a little bit of everything all the time.
Oh, you make that sound really good, like adding New Hampshire to the potentials.
Yep, yep, absolutely.
All right, Jade. So, what is a little known fact about you that you're willing to share with all of us?
So, from a professional perspective, and this goes really, really far back, further back than I would like to admit, but I actually was one of the very first vendor funded roles within the whole solution provider channel community. And so I
Wow.
was a pilot role when I worked for a big national solution provider up here in the Northeast. And there was, this requirement to start to develop, from a business development perspective, and have dedicated focus for that particular vendor, within our organization. And so yeah, I transitioned into that kind of role. It actually got me my start in terms of working within product management, vendor management, marketing, and all the things. And it ended up blossoming into, literally, to this day, there are vendor funded roles all across the channel community. So I was one of the first.
That's pretty cool. Definitely something I didn't know about you. But also, as I listen to you talk about that, it kind of just brings a reminder that our industry is really not that old
That's
and it
right.
has gone through transformational changes so fast over the last few decades. So, what a
Yep.
cool fact to share.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about some experiences or perhaps transformational moments in your life.
Yeah, so two come to mind, and the first is, within that role that I was just describing. I actually, again, it was early in my career, and my leader at the time was one of our very first, or not first, one of the very few women leaders within our organization. And for me, I was very young in my career, and she was such an incredible role model and mentor for me. And, she was incredibly confident, super strong. She knew her stuff inside and out. And we had a pretty tough leadership team at the time. And so we actually would have, for example, our president would come down the aisle and literally start asking people random questions, like really deep, deep, deep in the weeds about their business. And I mean, it was definitely a test, to see what you knew. And she actually had taught me to be always so prepared and really understand my business inside and out. And that's really what starts to instill some of that confidence, right? In terms
Mhm.
of really, knowing your stuff and being able to like answer things on the fly, and, be able to walk into a room and be able to position something, something again with confidence because you know it inside and out. And so that was a huge attribute that she, gave to me that, just always stuck with me, is being able to show up prepared, all the time,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. And I would say, the second is, really around, this moment where I was looking to, challenge myself, in a different way. I had been in a variety of different leadership positions at the company I was before. I, got to a place where I started to hit a bit of a ceiling, and I basically took the initiative to, develop. I saw a gap within the organization, and a place where we could, drive incremental revenue and profitability for the company. And so I basically developed a job description, and I pitched it. And I basically said, here's where I'm at in my career. Here's where I'm at within this role. I feel like I've kind of taken it as far as I can go. And this is really where I see, some opportunity for here at the company. It fills a need, and it starts to, drive incremental, again, revenue and profitability for the company. And it worked. And I was able to, transition into a capacity that really bridged together marketing for the organization, the vendor relationships that we had, and driving incremental opportunity for us and for them, and learn a whole bunch of new things, and get involved with a lot of new initiatives across the organization that I never would have had, that opportunity to do before. So that, I would say, was probably one of those bigger transformational moments for me.
I love that both your transformational moments that you shared are packaged with such great advice. And maybe some things that people aren't thinking of, such as the second one on you taking the initiative to kind of create a role, filling a gap that the company may have had, but also giving you a way to gain new skills and grow in your own professional role.
Yeah,
So that's
definitely.
awesome. I'm glad that you shared those.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's pivot to perhaps some challenges that you faced in your position as a leader.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, leadership comes always with, a set of challenges, for sure. And I would say, especially as, female leaders, we certainly have our share of, other dynamics that, we've had to deal with. But if I keep it, somewhat general, I would say, you know, leading through change management with the change resistant is probably one of the bigger challenges that I think, we as leaders, are all faced with at some time or another. And I think especially within my career over the years, and in different capacities, I've had to deal with a lot of change management. So whether it be, you know um, new, services, new solutions, new technology that we're implementing, integrations of organizations, lots of different things, that certainly comes with that type of dynamic. And I would say it is the type of thing where I've been able to learn over time, to try to lead through positivity,
Mhm.
and try to position the opportunity. What's the opportunity versus the challenge? So, for those that are, struggling with that from a change perspective, change is hard, and so it's
Yeah.
really being able to demonstrate, what those opportunities are on the positive end of it, going through that change versus really focusing on the challenge.
Oh, I love that. Love that. Jade, it has been an absolute pleasure getting to know you, and I am thrilled that we're celebrating you as our Woman of the Week. I cannot believe those 10 minutes flew by the way they did. I want to know more, but as always, we can continue that conversation in the Women of the Channel Leadership Network. Thank you again for allowing us to celebrate you and just giving us the opportunity to get to know you some.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jackie. It's been wonderful. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Community members, please give Jade your high fives, share your perspectives. This is how we invest in one another, inspire one another, and grow together. So until next time, have an amazing week.